Hello, this is Sex Work Resources, and I am your host, Mistress Quinn. And before we get started today, I need to tell you that this is a podcast about sex work. It's a podcast about the sex work industry, and I am here, as you hopefully have deduced, to give information and resources to other sex workers. This is all to say that this is an adult podcast. We are all adults here, and if you're not an adult here, you're not welcome. What can I say? Get out of here. Go do your homework. This is not for you. Now, with the rest of us adults, let's get to it. Today, I am just gonna do a blah episode. I am putting on my makeup and getting ready for camp. But I was just listening to Melrose Michaels' podcast called On the Horizon, like Horizon, and she spoke a little bit about, well, the episode is about lies in the sex work industry, which go check it out. It's the most recent episode as of today. And today it is beginning of March 2025. She actually mentions me, and when she mentioned my name, I was like, "Ooh, wow, I love that." I love how in CEO Society you can meet other creators who are big in the giving advice to other creators space. Like, I've had personal messages with Melrose, and this is also where I met Ali from Creator Spicy Tea, and I just love it. Like, this is a small community. I mean, it's a big community, but it's a small community. Anyways, so I wanted to talk about age verification today and traffic. So the episode is about like lies in the sex work industry, and she had kind of asked in CEOs to say, "Hey, what are some lies in the sex work industry that you have found to be false and has like helped you along in some way?" And one of the things that I had contributed to that discussion was that sex work exists. Sex work has always existed. Sex work always will exist, and therefore it is never a bad time to get into sex work. Now, in the same podcast episode, she mentions that traffic is slowing down. Traffic is slowing down right now in the United States on all adult sites, but especially cams and clip sites, I would say. And this is because legislation is changing with new age verification laws. So one might think now is a bad time to get into sex work, but this is all my opinion. I just want to preface with that. This is all my opinion, but I believe this strongly. I don't think this is a bad time to get into sex work. I think this is just a more challenging time to get into certain segments of sex work. Sex work has always existed. Guys jerk off to porn online, and it might be more difficult for some users to access their favorite sites, but let me tell you, they have not stopped jerking off. They're finding their content right now. If it's more difficult to get to your user base, you just need to figure out where they are going. They haven't stopped. They've just started going elsewhere. Some people are using VPNs. Some people are using direct selling more. I haven't done a survey, although maybe I should kind of poke my colleagues like Melrose and Ali from Creator Spicy Tea to maybe put out like a survey and ask users where they are going, because I would really like to know where they're going. But they are not disappearing. They're not just suddenly saying, "I'm not going to jerk off anymore," unlike what the purists would like them to do. The hardcore radical right, that political side, they have come out and openly said with Project 2025 that they want to make porn illegal. That's never going to happen. Sex work is never going to be eradicated. Look, there are some podcasts that tell you the history of sex work, and this is not the first time this has happened. This is not the first time society has tried to either eradicate or regulate sex work. This has happened a million times. Go check out the podcast, The Oldest Profession. The Oldest Profession gives a bunch of stories about sex work history. They have kind of changed now, and I don't think they're coming out with new episodes in their podcast anymore into more of a activist direction, so they're not really telling stories anymore, but there are so many good stories in that podcast that you can go listen to right now, where you can hear about how the sex work industry has been regulated and deregulated and re-regulated again. And okay, you can do sex work, but only in this specific part of the town. Or, okay, no sex work allowed at all. In fact, we're going to punish everyone who does sex work. And then what the sex workers do. Life can get harder for sex workers, but honestly, in these situations, when society decides to bring the hammer down, but as long as you can be strategic and take a step back and think, okay, my customers are going somewhere. I just have to figure out where. And today we live in a world of the internet. We can access large segments of the population, large segments that we would never come into contact with. We have resources at our disposal right now to figure out where our customers are going. So we should use them. The way that I am going about dealing with this age verification new regulation situation, because I am American, I live inside America, a very large segment of my customer base is also American. I'm asking them where they go, where they are going when I come into contact with them. But I am also transitioning away from camming. I am making a massive pivot in my business right now, away from camming, away from mainstream sex work, and I'm going to be focusing more on social media advertising to bring my customer base in rather than getting them from live cams. And I'm focusing on direct sales through Reddit. Now, direct sales through Reddit is a massive undertaking when you're not a daily Reddit user already. And there is so much information that needs to be consumed in order to pivot in that direction. But please go back and listen to my last episode with Ali Rope, because we talk about Reddit and we talk about her resources. And Ali Rope is like the number one sex work resource, I would say, for figuring out how to Reddit. She has many resources, like so many. I think she said in my last podcast that she had over 200 resources offer. And Reddit is her baby. That's how she makes her money. She doesn't I don't think she does camming. I don't think she does a lot of the other areas. It's Reddit that is really her workhorse and her focus and what she gives resources on. So go over there if you want to take that direction. But anyways, I have also learned that there is this thing called OnlyFans TV. OnlyFans TV is actually safe for work and it's converting really well. So I am also eventually going to go that direction. But it's a lot to change at once. So that is a little bit on the back burner. So I am changing away from cams and going to be more of a content creator. And I'm going to be using Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, OnlyFans TV, YouTube, and I will be doing direct sales as a separate thing, but it will still have set like a secondary consequence of bringing people to my fan page. So direct sales. Okay, so we have OnlyFans, right? And I'm using social media. I'm going to be using social media and OnlyFans TV and YouTube to bring people to my OnlyFans. But I also have a secondary option. OnlyFans is a household name. Everyone, everyone that jerks off, okay, not everyone. I would say maybe 70% of the people that jerk off on the internet have an OnlyFans. This is not a number that I'm pulling from any actual data. This is a guess. This is to emphasize the point that OnlyFans is a household name. So it is easy to convert people to OnlyFans. However, I am aware of like age verification, and I am aware that recently OnlyFans had a major drop in their search results coming up on Google due to a new Google policy. And I won't get into the details of why this is, but basically OnlyFans lost 50% of their of their search results from Google because of this policy change. So things on the internet are changing, and the big places like OnlyFans they're being affected. So I have a secondary option. It would be stupid of me not to have my OnlyFans because of that household name. But I also am preparing myself for the possibility of OnlyFans not being where it's at in the coming years. And I am doing that with Telegram. Telegram, you can do everything that you can do on OnlyFans and more. You can have a subscription channel, private channel, where you post videos, voice memos, pictures. You can post PDFs. You can post anything on a Telegram channel. It is not regulated, so it is up to you to age verify your own people, and you need to be doing that because age verification, if you don't do that, you can end up on a sex offender list. You just want to be 100,000% sure that you're not selling adult content to a minor, especially in the politics of America of today. So you need to be age verifying. It is a requirement if you're not going to use a website like OnlyFans that age verifies for you. Now, in my Web Scoop episode, I don't remember what number it was, but I believe it's called Telegram Hack. I will link it. In that episode, I talk about this website called Web Scoop, where they have a bot that you can put into your Telegram channel. And then people that want to buy your Telegram channel can buy it through this website. And this website age verifies them first before they're allowed to buy that subscription, and then the bot keeps track of their subscription for you. So it rebills them or it kicks them off the channel if they don't rebill. And you can advertise your Telegram channel wherever you're advertising your OnlyFans. And anyone that goes to click on that and follow your funnel to buy your Telegram subscription has to age verify before they buy it. That website is WebScoop, and you can go back and you can listen to that episode and you can decide for yourself whether you want to go down that route. I've chosen that route because it is much easier on my time. However, I think most models are age verifying with apps like the Yoti app before they are direct selling and before they are offering their Telegram subscriptions. So I think that in the future, with the age verification laws, at least during this time when we're in a transition period from where we were before to having higher barriers to entry to get to our content, at least in this transition time, and potentially after that as well, our consumer base is going to start switching to direct sales and to private channels like on Telegram. Unlike Fansly, unlike loyal fans, there is no traffic generation on OnlyFans. You have to bring your own traffic to OnlyFans by getting people to click your link. You have to get people to your Telegram channel. You have to bring your own traffic by getting them to click your link. It is exactly the same. It is exactly the same process for creating traffic. The only difference between Telegram and OnlyFans is that OnlyFans is a household name. However, in this age of higher barriers to entry, I think people are going to be more willing to try out something new. There are so many changes right now, not even just with age verification. Skype. Skype is no longer a thing as of May 5th, 2025. I don't know about you, but Skype is my number one place where I do direct sales canning. That is, somebody messages me, asks me if I can do a private show, sends me money in Cash App or in WebScoop or whatever my payment methods are. And then I call them for a video call on Skype. That is my number one place where I do my live direct sales, and that is no longer going to be a thing. So I am changing to either Telegram or Discord or Teams. I'm not sure yet. But my point is that there are a lot of changes going on right now. And if people haven't been using the Telegram subscriptions because it's not a household name, they don't want to have to sign up to a new place that they've never heard of, etc. They're already going to be having to set up new accounts elsewhere right now because of all of these changes. So I would say right now, our customer base is likely more open to trying out new platforms right now. These times, they are uncertain and there is less traffic in the avenues that we are used to the traffic being. That's a huge change. That's a big change. And a lot of us are thinking, oh no, my income is lessening and I don't know what to do. Y'all, there's something you can do. There are good things coming out of this. We just need to pivot like we do, like we sex workers do. We sex workers are always on the front lines of innovation. We're always making backup accounts because we know that we get deleted. We're always finding new payment methods because payment processors don't like us. We're on the forefront of AI and new tech because we always need to find an edge. Y'all, if you've been in this industry for longer than a second, you know that you are great at thinking outside the box. This is where we shine. We figure out how to navigate new grounds, and we always have done that. But unlike in the past, when we have been good at doing this, nowadays we have resources to help us do it. There are communities, there are podcasts, there are other sex workers that are more than willing to help you start to exercise that creative mindset that you need to navigate this difficult. I don't know if I would call it difficult. You just need some extra brain power to get yourself to those goals right now. And there are other sex workers out there that have exercised that part of their brain that are willing to help you do it. I mentioned CEO Society with Melrose Michaels. Man, that is a great resource. Get over there if you need some help. There's a search bar. You can search for the exact kind of help that you need. And there are so many posts. And I heard today in her podcast that there's almost 1,000 members in there. There's a lot of, and you know what? There's still no drama. It's still a loving, drama-free, positive place. The EO Society cannot recommend enough. There is also creator resources chats. This is a Discord. And that community is also just full of creators that are willing to help and give community and be there while you navigate this process, whether you're brand new and getting into sex work or you're thinking, oh no, there's so many changes, what do I do? We have Ali Rope with Creator Spicy Tea. She has a podcast, she has a YouTube, she has Patreon. She's got free stuff on that Patreon, I believe. She is also in creator resource chats. And I know for sure that Melrose and Ali both put out industry news so that you can also keep on top of everything. I have more interviews to do, and I'm going to be gathering more resources for you. So there is also more to come. But these are the resources that I know of at this moment that I have talked about on my podcast until now. Is that everything I wanted to say? I think so. I mean, I this is an interesting time. Things are changing. The sex work industry has constantly been evolving and changing. The landscape, it has never been stable. And we sex workers have always found a way anyway. And this period of time is no different. We need to be careful and we need to pay attention to what's going on legally because we need to be legal because our businesses are legal. And when you are running your own business, it's your responsibility to keep on top of the laws and how to keep your business out of the red, in the green, in the legality. So I would say to any Americans, but also any other sex workers in the EU or in South America or wherever, to pay attention to these changing legislative times in the United States because there is a huge customer base in the United States. And it's not just the producers of porn that are being affected. No, no, no. It's the consumers of porn that are being affected. That's why our traffic is going down because these age verification laws are forcing our customers to upload their ID and verify their age before they're allowed to access our content. This means that people without IDs, maybe they physically lost their wallet, or I don't know, there could be a million reasons that someone doesn't have their ID just right next to them every single time they want to watch porn. So our traffic is dwindling. Pay attention to these age verification laws as they're coming out. There is, I think federally, they are looking at making an age verification law so the entire United States has age verification for all sites to have, like, what is it, more of a 30% percentage of the website is pornographic. I'm not exactly sure of the details, but go look up the details. But even if that either falls through or doesn't end up happening, there are a lot of states now that have implemented age verification laws. Just off the top of my head, I'm thinking of Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas. I don't know. I think there are other ones as well. And a large number of states that have bills that are in the process of putting age verification laws into effect. I personally, it's on my to-do list. I need to make a list of every single state and where they are at in their age verification process. And I need to look at the states that do have age verification established. I need to look at their laws. What are their laws specifically? What happens if you break those laws? Can I do businesses in those states? That's what I need to know. There is a bill that is, I'm not sure if it's still in play. I haven't actually looked it up, but I was turned on to a bill that was at play just a month ago. And it's a bill in Oklahoma. And that bill in Oklahoma stated that anyone that creates any sort of pornographic material, this can be sexting. And unless it is sent between spouses, married spouses, via a private channel like a text, every other type of pornographic material, whether it's uploaded online, sent to your girlfriend, sent to your boyfriend, that, whether it is normal sexual or, in their words, perverted, being BDSM, or they have a list of things, that, spreading that can cause you to be imprisoned. Lowest amount, 5 years. Highest prison, 50 years for distributing content not to your spouse, your married spouse. Oh my God. And it was like, there was also like a fine of $250,000 to $500,000. So you can bring a case against a creator of, quote, illegal pornographic content if this law were to pass as it was, as many times as you want. That's huge. I don't know about you, but I don't want to do business in Oklahoma at all now. And that means even if I'm driving through Oklahoma, I don't want to take a call there. I am going to turn my computer the fuck off. I might even turn my phone the fuck off while I drive through or visit, because I actually have a friend there. My best friend lives there. I mean, it's a bill. It's not passed as a law, but man, I don't even want to risk it because that is a lot of punishment. And that would come down on people that aren't even sex workers. Anyways, my point is, this is serious. These people are not fucking around. So if you're a sex worker, you need to be aware where each state is and don't sell in those states. Learn what those laws are. If you're going to be using private sales, honestly, I need to ask this question because I'm not sure what the answer is. But I would like to know, if I'm doing a private sale and someone's in Texas, do I need to, I mean, of course I need to age verify, but is there a state where I can't do business with someone? Do I need to start learning where people are physically before I can start doing business with them? I don't know. This is why I need to create that database where I need to figure out where each state is, if there are bills that are being pushed, and what the laws are specifically, and what happens if you break them. I will definitely share that database with you once I create it. I am a little busy at the moment. I just finished making a Reddit content calendar so I can start posting and advertising for direct sales on Reddit. But I did it before I remembered that there is a website where you can see when the best times are to post. And now I know the best times to post. I need to remake the calendar. So much work to be done. And I need to make a content calendar for Instagram and for OnlyFans VIP and for OnlyFans free. And once that is all done and all scheduled, then I can make a content calendar for YouTube and OnlyFans TV. It's okay. When I'm not camming, I am a beast. I get so much done. When I cam, it's the only thing I can do. All right, I did an interview recently with someone named Ona Artist. She is a complete badass and she has so much information in her brain. This interview went for an hour and a half. And I would say the last half an hour, we are just rushing to get through my questions because she just has so much to say on like every single point. And you guys, this interview that I did with Ona Artist is so densely packed with so much information that I'm not going to release it all at once. I'm going to take segments and I'm going to play the segment and then I'm going to discuss what she said. Because, I mean, if you're like me and you like to just binge, at certain points, if you find really good information, you just take in so much information that there's just no way that your brain can hold on to all of it. And that's how I feel like this episode or this interview went with one artist. I'm going to chop it up and I'm going to play it to you, and then we're going to discuss it and we're going to have separate episodes so that it can sink into your brain. Ona Artist has millions of followers on Instagram and across her channels. Millions, like over 10 million. Like it's insane. She is an expert on Instagram. We go into a lot of Instagram, how to promote. She talks about how she went from zero to $10,000 in 1 month using Instagram. Yeah. And she also has her own resources, and I will be able to direct you towards those. And she is an expert on other social media as well. Her business model is not to use DMs. And man, I see so much about DMs. But no, her business model is to just use social media to direct people to her OnlyFans, and then she makes the money on the subscriptions. She also talks about how she makes enough content for a brand so that she doesn't have to make any more content for that brand, and then she just recycles that content and then passes it off to an assistant. So, like, this is bloody genius. Anyways, it's gonna be a minute before I get that interview chopped up and ready for you. So bear with me. But that is coming, and I'm so damn excited. Okay, I need to get to work now. I need to put my face on. I was gonna put my face on while I talk to you, but man, I can only do one thing at a time. And I get so easily distracted anyway, so I just had to focus on you for a second here. Okay, I hope you guys are safe out there, and I can't wait to see you for the next episode. Okay, see you on the flip side.